It's 7:36 p.m. I'm about to leave the office. You would think for as much time as I spend here, I would absolutely be crushing my number, but I'm struggling to perform right now. And the reason I share this with you is because I think it's important to talk about the good and the bad. I built this channel valuing radical transparency. So I've been very candid with you guys about my income, my career progression in software sales, promoting from a sales development rep to a senior account executive. And I think I've learned a lot along the way. And I'm not just one of these sales influencers that acts like they're a guru and everything they say is best practice. Oh, this is the discovery question. This is how you do the follow-up. This is cold call openers. I think there's a time and place for that. And a lot of the sales influencers say, hey, everything I say is right. But I like to be real with you guys. I'm actually in the trenches. I work in sales. I make cold calls still. I work deals. And I face a lot of rejection and make a lot of mistakes along the way. So rather than just trying to sit here and say 3 best practices for promoting in sales, or this is how to cold call, I want to share 6 lessons based on firsthand experience of the struggles I've been going through. I wrote them down on my phone because I was thinking through these, and they're as real as I can possibly be. So number 1 is I grew up conditioned to not think I was enough. I was the fat kid and I was made fun of, and I think that just stuck with me. That's why I'm so obsessive over eating healthy, running a lot, and valuing health and fitness and staying in good shape. So I naturally approach conversations, whether it be social situations, saying, you know what, I'm probably not enough. I call these prospects and I say, hey, please accept what I'm saying. Let's set up a meeting with them. What I've learned is that you need to reframe your perspective, and this is ongoing for me. This is an evolution. This is something I think about, and I'm not perfect at it, but you need to frame every interaction with prospects need me more than I need them. I had a few interactions today where my pipeline's dwindling and I was feeling desperate, and I had some key deals and they said, you know what, we're going to go with your competitor. And I knew the competitor they're going with, and I said, in my 5 years, this is the worst decision you could be making. Another one, I said, I was saying, hey, you said in Q2 2023 you were doing a budget decision. Let's set up a call in January of next year and let's just talk about it. They never responded, but I came off as desperate. Some would call it quota breath. As soon as it edges the line of, I really need you, I'm being transactional right now, opposed to relationship building long-term, what do you really need? I think that that's the right perspective, is that, listen, I'm willing to walk away from a deal. I don't need you. You need me. Last year at this time, Q4, I had an abundance of pipeline, and I got on calls and I had this confidence. I said, look, if you don't want to work with me, that's fine. We've got this backlog of implementation. Just make a decision. Here's the pricing. I look forward to hearing from you. That was it. Now it's, guys, let's schedule a call. We really need to talk through this. What is your process? Who's signing? And I'm coming off as incredibly desperate, and it's something I'm reminding myself is that prospects need me more than I need them. Number 2, your value as a human is not your sales number. And this is a reality that I've had to come to grips with this year, because when I first promoted to an account executive, I hit my quota for 6 quarters straight. And keep in mind, I was ramping and I promoted twice during that period, so my quota increased significantly. Last year, I closed $960,000 on a $400,000 or $500,000 number. This year, I've closed about $500 something thousand on an $800,000 number. So not horrible. I still have some work to do. But when I started missing quota, psychologically, it started to carry into my personal life, because if I'm not successful, or if I don't feel like I'm achieving or getting the recognition, notoriety, success, it carries into my personal life, and I naturally like myself less. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I've had to really think about this, because I think a lot of highly motivated people like me, and hopefully you as well, if you're on this corner of the internet, we want to be successful, we want to be rich, we want to live a great life. And when that's not the reality of our present circumstances, it's challenging to separate our identity of, well, this is who I think I should be versus this is who I am right now. And when you're missing your sales number, it starts to eat away at you, and you start to think, I am less, I'm not good enough, people don't respect me, whatever. Maybe I don't respect myself when I'm not succeeding. So I've had to really accept, now that I've started missing quota for the first time ever, is I am not my sales number. I am a professional who has a sales number, who's trying to perform, but I'm also Trent the individual. And that's what I need to value and have self-respect for that person. Number 3 is minimum deal thresholds. Have you ever found yourself working with a prospect who is just, there's no upside, they can't spend that much money, but they're the most work to deal with? It's always those small customers that are just a pain to deal with. So I have this big number. Historically, I've always said, I'll work any deal, it doesn't matter. I'll work it quick, I'll win fast, I'll lose fast. I'm now going into those deals saying, if you can't spend 10K with me, I don't want to talk to you. So I'm being a little reckless, but I'm also being aggressive. I'm saying, look, it's going to cost 10K. Is that realistic? If they're like, no, I'll say, okay, then we're not the right fit for you. They need you more than you need them. So come off as aggressive and say, look, this is how much I'm worth. This is how much it's going to cost. Caveat, if it's an account with a lot of potential, you maybe want to try and sell a smaller deal to get in. But if you're selling larger B2B solutions, minimum deal threshold in the teens like I am, you want to, of course, sell for more higher ticket. Set a minimum deal threshold, and something I'm working on and just deployed today. And it really felt empowering to say, look, this is what it costs. Can you do it? And they're like, yeah, okay. Set a high price. Number 4, knowledge is what separates those who have from those who don't have. They say knowledge is power. I think execution is actually power. But if you think about it, the only thing holding me back right now is limited knowledge. I don't have all of the information I need to create enough value to make it a no-brainer in every sales cycle for them to say, yes, we're willing to spend. I need to have the knowledge and provide my customers with the knowledge to quantify their problem, to make it so amplified that our solution is a fraction of a cost to that solution. So it makes it a no-brainer for them. Next, number 5, obsess over the process and detach emotionally from the results. This is something I've been speaking a lot about with people close to me is look, when you're not getting the results, what can you control? You can control your work ethic, your effort, putting in your calls daily, sending your emails, not worrying if you're actually setting meetings, just worrying about putting in those efforts. And that's all that counts and really matters, right? All that counts is the results, but what really matters is the process. And then finally, there is no competition with yourself. AKA, the more authentic you are, the less anyone can replicate that because you are your own unique person. Do not try to beat people at their game. Play my game by always being myself. Be as real and as authentic as possible. I think this applies to content creation, but this also applies to your sales career, your personal life as well. The reason I made this video, I'm struggling right now, versus how to succeed at sales is because that wouldn't be authentic to me right now. I'm talking about my reality and projecting out something that you didn't know you necessarily needed, but can only get through me. That makes me more authentic and hopefully more valuable to you. Hopefully this information was somewhat entertaining and also relatable, maybe educational in a way of some tactics as well. But I'm being true to myself. And I would encourage you to be as authentic as possible as well, because people will accept that. People want the real you. They don't want you to sit behind the screen. I'm an expert. This is how to do things, but you don't have the results to back it up. So I prefer to talk about how I am doing things. I'm going through a rough patch. It's going to be okay. And if you're also struggling right now, I want to tell you that right now is the opportunity of a lifetime. Any of these false narratives around whatever, I'm an eternal optimist. Let's be positive. We're going to get through all this and we're going to be better because of it. And I believe things are going to work out, and now is the time to capitalize. So I view problems as an opportunity to get better.